Hello again and welcome back to my channel and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Prop Up and Co. And this is race 2 of round 7 of our Manufacturers Cup. And I didn't realise it was going to start to rain, and it wasn't forecast, but all of a sudden this weather has come over the circuit, and as you can see, it's not just a little bit, it's an absolute drenching. So this race 2 is officially a wet race. So this is going to be, well, fun. Let's just put it that way. I mean, I am actually in the drivers' chat, and I've spoken to a couple of them, and they have informed me that this race actually is mega and awesome. That's just a couple of words that they gave me to describe what this race was actually like. This is a replay of that race. This isn't live, so hence how they can tell me that. But so I think we all ought to sit back and wait for this one and watch this one, because it sounds like it's I'm going to have my work cut out, that's for sure, by the sounds of it. So I think I'm going to have the eyes everywhere. So I've got about 6 gallons of water with me. My oxygen tank is next to me on standby, and I'm going to run through this reverse grid. Another 25 minutes. Obviously, the tyre rules goes out the window now because of the weather. They can basically just run what they like. Obviously, it's wet tyres for this start. So let's go through that reverse grid then, and this is it. So Brian Moncani, who didn't have the start, did he, in race 1, and just didn't recover at all. In fact, started to get lapped at the end of that race 1 in the end. So big issues with his car, but glad to say he managed to get it back out here for this second race. He's on pole position on those intermediate tyres. Then we've got Sai in second on the full wets. Silly Shot in third, also on the inters. T. Bennett on the inters in fourth. Unforgiven in fifth on the wets. We've got Keyboard Captain in the wets in sixth place. McGrath in seventh on the wets. PM in eighth on the wets. Wadru in ninth on the wets. Intermediates for DJ in 10th. Dan in 11th on the wets. Intermediates for Stormfly in 12th. And Colonel Curtains at the back there in 13th on the inters. So the majority of them going with inters, but there are a few wets out there as well. Right, let's do this then. Let's watch these lights, and let's see how these guys get off the grid. I'm ready for this one. We'll soon see. They are all off, and all off well as well. So let's see what happens down here at turn 1. Always action going on down here, even when it's dry. So there's stuff going to go on here in the wet, that's for sure. Now I think everyone's through, are they, or are they not? Well, there's people catching running a bit wide. Will you see with all the spray? Hang on, someone's gone round, and that's Unforgiven, I think. Yeah. Now let's see if he was he did it on his own, or was he pushed? Let's have a look. Will you see on that camera angle? He runs it wide, doesn't he? He's on the outside, is he? I think he just grabbed. Can't really see. Didn't really give him the proper camera angle there. I think he just grabbed too much of that AstroTurf out there on the left. That's going to be slippery as hell after this rain that's come down in the short time that we've had between the two races. So he's down there in 13th. So Siden leads it. Brian Moncani, who's dropped down to second now from that pole position, with McGrath sliding it around. Keyboard Captain on the outside as well. McGrath gives him a little bit of a nudge as they come into the hairpin for the first time here in race 2. Silly Shot. Stormfly. There's another car facing backwards. Who's this time? That's Bennett, I think. Oh my goodness me, what happened there? So at the hairpin, Bennett's the next victim. Bit of rain coming down, absolutely torrential now. Is it just too much power? Yeah, back end came round. So again, don't think it was anybody's touch, just too much throttle at that point, and that brought the back around. So Unforgiven, I think, hit the curb, and T. Bennett just too much. Yeah, side comes through the chicane, steady as they like all through here. Tippy-toey through. I think everyone's through though, so all good. Oops, let's go back to this gang. So everyone's there. It's DJ in 11th and Keyboard in 10th. You see him coming through. Turns 14 and 15 at nets, and then on to the final corner at Panasonic. Size now lost that lead to Keyboard Captain, so Keyboard Captain does manage to get the lead there. He's in second, just got it round turn 15 there, didn't he? Up the inside of Si. I think Si went a bit wide actually. Yeah, he did, just couldn't get the traction. And Keyboard Captain went past and into the lead into this final corner. Panasonic, look at size, narrower line, and that might work for him. Just if he put the power down. No, he can't in that Jag. Oh, squiggly moment. That's going to let McGrath go past as well. So Side just going backwards a little bit there through that final corner. Just couldn't get the traction whatsoever. Brian Marcani in fourth with Silly Shot all over the back of him. And look at Dan Dan coming through. We've got a little bit of action going on here at the front. Let's have a look at this first on McGrath. Si fighting back. Is he going to get the job done at turn one? Don't think he is. What about Silly Shot on Dan? Well, Dan's on the outside of both of them. Gets the job done up the inside of both Silly Shot and Brian Marcani. So it's up to fourth, I think, now. Dan, he does. Yeah, Silly Shot also got past Brian. He's back to sixth now, Brian Marcani from pole position. Oh, that's another look. Colonel Curtis is up to seventh from the back. He's up the inside of Wadru. Oh, and that's Silly Shot who's running off wide. And that's going to drop him down now. He's going to have to try and get going again. It's a lift big time to stop himself from going sideways. Did well to just get it back on the track actually as they come through the hairpin. Still really close. Look at this lot. So the leaders are off and away, and then we've got this group. What a group. Look at this as they head now down towards turns 10 and 10 and 11. Dunlop. Oh, Stormfly almost had a moment as well. There's PM behind him. This is going to be a long race, I can tell. This rain's going to hold on all this time. Actually, it does seem to have maybe died down a little bit, the rain. What you're seeing is obviously all the spray from the remnants of the rain that's come down. I actually do think it's stopped. The window wipers have stopped on the car, so the weather actually has just cleared, certainly in that section anyway. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's still I think that's side going again. Yeah, so all dry at this point. Keyboard Captain still leading it from McGrath, who's chasing him down though in the second of the Porsches. Over the line now to start lap 3 and on to turn 1. Colonel Curtin's now up to 5th and grabs the fastest lap of 1:51.9, but Si still holding 3rd place from Dan Dan. Oh, now that's a big moment for Dan Dan. Managed to get it up there at the end, just managed to pull it up. Almost went into the side. It was a slight touch, but almost it could have been a lot worse. It's just backing off, I think, just allowing Si to get that or keep that 3rd place. But that was a bit of a moment there for Dan Dan as Si runs it out wide. So Dan Dan, is that a penalty for Si? I don't know whether it gives you a little bit of leniency with the weather as it is. As Dan Dan now up the inside, gets a nice wider line there for Dan Dan, and Curtains is there as well. Si drops another place to 4th, and look at this, look at the guys ahead of them, McGrath and Keyboard Captain at the front, side by side. We'll have to switch. There's going to be a lot of switching here, I can tell. This is going to be absolutely all over the shop. These cameras, we're going to have to be going from one point to another, but it's going to be thrilling. And Keyboard Captain still holding McGrath, but McGrath getting that line through there, is now at the inside, coming through 14 and through 15. So it is McGrath who now takes the lead here in race 2 with Keyboard Captain in 2nd. Now this lot still fighting out. Dan Dan in 3rd, Si in 4th, Colonel Curtains nicely up the inside, and the sun is coming out, so I think we might have got the worst of the weather now. That's gone, but tyre rules are still out of the window, but this is going to still take a bit of time to dry up. Depends on how much heat that sun's going to generate, but at the moment that's still a soaking track. Maybe not for wets now. It may be starting to almost get into intermediate territory, so the guys on the wet tyres may well be starting to struggle. Lots of guys right back at the back of this straight as they all hit turn 1 now. All still through there. There's side, there's Silly Shot, Stormfly ahead of them. Roger on the outside, Colonel Curtains and Dan Dan find it out through Coca-Cola and gets it. No, he doesn't. I thought he got it on Colonel Curtains there, but no, he doesn't. Stays in fourth behind Colonel Curtains. Sight. Silly shot. Dab of the brakes for Silly shot. You don't be touching them too much. Sight. Oh, moment from Sight. Almost went sideways, but did well. Is he going to stop it? He is. Still there in fifth then. Silly shot in sixth. Stormfly now in the mix. He's going to have a go at both of them. Round the outside goes Stormfly, but he don't want to be on the outside coming down into the chicane. Oh, it's still McGrath and Keyball Captain is your 1 and 2. Look at this lot coming through. Brilliant racing. This is excellent. This is what we want to see. This is what the wet does. Brings everybody together. Great racing here. There's Brian Moncani in 9th behind Wadru, then DJ in 10th. Then Bennett, who had that moment, remember, PM, and what happened to him? I think he may well have been in. I'm guessing he's been in. Maybe come back out on the intermediates, because unless he's had a real, doesn't look like he's had any damage anywhere, so it doesn't look like he's had a moment anywhere. So I didn't see him go in, I'll be honest, but he may have. He's come out on the intermediates, so I think, which is why he's down there. And Unforgiven also, I think, has changed, because he's got a lot of fuel there too. So I think these two at the back have come in and changed and gone on the intermediates. I think they were on the wets, in fairness. They know that it's drying out, so it was time for them to change. And here goes Roger in sight. So all the guys on the wets, like I just said, are now starting to have to change, because the wets are just getting chewed up out there now. You can see that drying line on the circuit. A lot of them still trying to search for all the damp on the track to try and cool the tyres down and give them a little bit more life. It's all about tyre management now. Going to stay on that dry line. These tyres, these inters, all these wets are not going to last. They're going to be absolutely like shredded in a matter of time. So searching for the wet is what you need to do. And as you can see, although that is the line anyway out there, but going out all on that wet line on the outside there. Great example of how these guys are trying to keep that the coolness, take the heat out of those tyres. So McGrath is sliding it through turn 13 into 14 now, with Colonel Kearns up to second place, and he's attacking for the lead. Up the inside he goes, and I think he's got it. He has. McGrath taking it a bit wide, but Colonel Kearns lovely driving. So remember, Colonel Kearns was at the back of this grid at the start, and he's already up to the lead after just 5 laps. Just coming along now to start lap 6. We're only 9 minutes in this race. Seems like we've been racing already for about half hour, so we might see some more people diving in. It looks like McGrath is, or is he just taking that wider line? Yeah, they're just grabbing all that wet line, aren't they, on the right hand side? As you can see, look, lines all over the place. But actually, no one's going straight down the middle there. There's either the left side of the where it's wet, or the right side. But we have got a couple in Silly Shot and Dan who are in. So Silly Shot, interestingly, he's on the intermediate side. He obviously knows he can probably go on the softs now. If he can stay on that dry line through the centre, it may work for him. So let's keep an eye on Silly Shot when he comes out. He's in 8th at the moment. It's Keyball Captain in 4th. Got Brian Moncani in 5th place. He was on pole position at the start of this race. DJ is up to 6th now. These guys will soon all be in, I think. But they've got to come in anyway, but I think they'll be in. I think they'll be out on the soft tyres. Looks like the weather is completely cleared now, although you can never tell around these parts. But it does look like the sun is maybe here to stay now for the remainder of this race. There's Bennett. Silly Shot in 8th. He's just come in and come out. So he didn't come out on the softs, but he has come out on the racing mediums. So he's going to be a bit careful. He's still he's trying to start on that clean line there. It's PM. He's still on the inter, so he's going to be trying to get as much of that parts as he can. Wadru in 10th with he's on the soft tyres, Wadru, so he's gone for it. Wadru's come in and he's decided that softs are the way to go. And he's going to be trying to stick to that dry line all the way now where he can. Oh, and there's an example as well of when you don't get them on the dry line, and what softs will do to you if you just stray even just half a foot off of line there. and he's got to be a bit careful on those curbs. They're going to be like ice. So Wadru is in a challenging position with those tyres, mediums, racing mediums for Dan as well, as he out behind Wadru, trying to get a bit off him in terms of slip. Still Colonel Curtains at the front with Stormflight in second. Brian Moncani now to third. To see someone come in, I'm sure that was, but someone just flicked up there as we see this battle between Wadru, another one going in as well in the background. There's Dan and Wadru battling it out. I think Wadru, so that's Unforgiven, who's just gone in. So we'll be out on one of the racing mediums or soft tyres, presumably. So Dan did get that move done, and he's passed Wadru there at turn 1, so up to 10th he goes. Let's have a quick look at what's happening back at the front. Well, it's Colonel Curtains, it's Stormfly, it's Brian Moncani's your top 3, DJ fourth now, as he goes into the chicane. T. Bennett in 5th, so it's all spread out here. 6th place for Silly Shot, and then here comes more fun and games back here with Keeble captain McGrath. Oh, where's McGrath going? Did he get pushed out there by PM? I think PM had a moment, that wasn't intentional. Let's have another look at that. I think PM just had a... Oh, actually, it was Keeble, wasn't it? Sorry, PM. No, it was actually Keeble that had the moment that actually sort of sideswiped McGrath. But it was a racing incident. There was nothing he could have done about that. That was just no traction. There he goes. There, bang. Sideswipes McGrath, who then was right out there. Now he's going to try and get back on, and he's going to lose it. Yeah, that's just gripped at the wrong time there. It was obviously wet, and now he's all on the grass, and he's going to be stuck out there. And it's if he can get it going without wheel spinning. He's done well to get it going again. He's going to have to get back on, but it's going to be tricky to get it just back on the track. He's going to come across this curbing as well, and back on he goes, and he's lost a lot of places there, back to 11th. There's now 2 leaders who are in. One Moncani now in the lead, but Colonel Curtains and Stormflight coming in off those intermediates. So just unfortunate there. A touch from Keyboard, and that knocked him way out, and then it was he was a bit of a passenger from that point. Couldn't stop anything there. Just had to go with it. So let's go and have a look at our new leader. Well, I say leader, he was at the front of the grid at the start, and he's at the front of the race here. 13.5 minutes in, 8 laps in. Brian Moncani is the leader of this race, but he is still on them intermediate tyres, which he don't have to change, but I think he's going to have to if he's going to stand a chance of at least getting himself on the podium here. Had a terrible race one, had that issue with the car, whatever it was, but now is leading this race too. DJ in 2nd place, also still on those intermediate tyres, with Bennett in 3rd on the intermediates. So all these top 3 on the intermediates. Then we've got Colonel Curtains, who's the first of the stoppers, and he's on those soft, and these are the tyres that could be what will win the race for the driver, because these soft tyres on a drying track will work. So we'll see how they work when it gets to the end. So Colonel Curtains in 4th place, Silly Shot in 5th on the medium tyres. See him earlier, didn't we? Struggling for a bit of traction, but we're having a bit of the wet line. Didn't like that at all, that Ferrari. Here he is, still a little bit slidey. Silly Shot. And we've got Stormflight in 6th place on the racing mediums as well. No one's in, so all the guys up there are as they were. Then we've got Keeble captain in 7th with Dan behind him, closely followed by Wadru. But look at this from Dan. He's just put in the fastest lap as well. I think 1:42.6 it was. And he's on the racing mediums, and we've got a yellow flag, and someone's facing the wrong way. Who's that up there? Let's have a look. Who was it? Can't see who that was. Oh, that's back there, isn't it? Who was it? It was Keeble captain, I think it was. So where was he? So he was 7th. Dan was there. I thought there was a yellow flag before that, if I'm honest, but he just ran it out wide, didn't he? And then it comes back on behind Wadru in 9th. So no, that was the yellow flag. So Dan got past him, up to 7th place for Dan. And as I say, that fastest lap at the moment, 1:42.6. Audrey in 8th place in those soft tyres. I don't know if they're going to last. We're coming to 16 minutes in. They might do. They might do. I do know that Wadru does like to just go for it. He's not one to do all this strategy, fuel, tyre saving stuff. He regards that as boring. He just wants to put his foot down and go. And it's kind of my strategy too. I love it. Just get in and go. And I think Wadru will be trying that. But no, he's going to have to, in seriousness, he will have to try it. Be careful on those soft tyres if he's going to try and run these to the end. So 8th place for him. Then we've got Keyboard in 9th, Sai in 10th, Unforgiven in 11th place, and PM in 12th. These are all the guys that are coming, of course. Brian O'Carney then from the lead is in. DJ's now inherited the lead on lap 10, but he is still on those intermediates. So too is Bennett in, so the two. I think it's only now DJ is the only one, I believe, who is on a wet tyre, or an intermediate or wet tyre. He's leading the race, but he's going to have to come in at the end of this because they're not going to last very long with a charging Colonel Curtains on soft tyres behind him. There's only one outcome, I think, and I think it's in the favour of Colonel Curtains at the moment. But with conditions the way they are still, it could still be anybody's at this point. Storm flying, Dan still battling it out for 3rd and 4th, and this is the last spot on the podium. Remember, we'll see there's still a lot of wet there as they come down towards the chicane, so still going to have to be a little bit careful through that section. Stormflight in 3rd, then ahead of Dan in 4th, and we've got City Shot in 5th, Wadru 6th, Keyboard Captain in 7th, then Brian Moncani in 8th now after his stop. Well, he actually is still on the intermediates, and actually it looks like he's gone on to the intermediates. So he's actually changed back onto the intermediates from whatever he was on at the start. He might have been on the intermediates and just gone back onto them, but it's a strange choice. So I'm not going to question his strategy, but it certainly seems to be dry out there now. There's a few little patches, but we'll see. Let's go back to Wadru and Keyboard. I thought they were battling hard. No, it's Dan, isn't it? With Stormflight. I think he's up the inside, is Dan. He does get that 3rd place, and all of a sudden they're on the back of who was our leader, DJ, and this is the consequence of his deteriorating intermediate tyres, because already he's down to 2nd and he's got the whole swarm of cars behind him now, including Silly Shot and Stormflight. Still holding it in 2nd at the moment, DJ, but I'm surprised he didn't come in and get rid of him a little bit earlier. But he's going to have to, I think he's going to get swallowed up here on exit of the hairpin and up through 300R down towards the chicane. So yeah, already 2 of them have gone past. That Silly Shot and Stormfly. Now Colonel Curtains and Wadru will make a move down here on the brakes, I would imagine. There goes Colonel Curtains, so he's through. Wadru's following as well. Just can't get it stopped now. DJ and is dropping down to 6th place through that chicane, and yep, now Keyboard as well. They're all swarming him, aren't they? DJ's got nothing. He's got no answer to any of it. He just has to run his line and just keep it where it is. But he's got nothing now in terms of tyre, and this could end up being a bit of a disaster for DJ in the end here, because in 7th now, he's going to be in now, and then he's got the whole lot of them behind him, and they could still be in pit lane by the time they get. He could be at the back of this field by the time he gets out, so he's definitely going to be going in. But let's go up. Right, we have to go to the front because we see what happens at the turn 1. There's Dan, he's all right. Stormfly's not going to catch him. There's Colonel Curtains in 3rd, Wadru in 4th, Keyboard in 5th. I think everybody's actually okay. I don't think there's going to be any moves down here at turn 1 actually. Who is there? couple more in the pit lane. Silly shots in there as well, coming off those medium tyres. That was Keyboard going out wide again where we went before. And through Coca-Cola they go, but he had to give way for Wadru there. So Dan, our leader, putting another fastest lap as well into the 141s now. It's 1417. Medium tyres are looking good. We're 21 minutes in. We've got about 4 minutes left of this race. So potentially another couple of laps. Look at Colonel Kearns all over the back of Stormfly, who's in second. There's Colonel Kearns in third. So it could be a good round here for Colonel Kearns, our championship leader, remember. Already got victory in race 1. Is he going to get a double? Or is he going to get himself on the podium? He's going to be well in front going into the next round. If it stays like this with Wadru, Keyboard captain, fighting for 4th and 5th place. Keyboard's going to sit in behind him now, trying to get that 4th place off him. Pull out now. Wadru's sticking right to the right hand side. See if there's anything happening up the top here. As they head down here, Colonel Kearns going for it up the inside of Stormfly. Oh, runs it a bit wide. Stormfly knew he was coming, was looking for the switchback, did it well. Stormfly does keep that 2nd place. He knew what Colonel Kearns was going to try there. Didn't quite come off, did it? But Stormfly was wise to his tactics. Didn't allow him through, but he's got some pace as Colonel Kearns, and actually just got the fastest lap off of Dan. But now I've just seen that Unforgiven's now grabbed it and is in the 140s. So Unforgiven must be on the soft tyres, 140.8. So he's back down in the field, but grabbing that fastest lap at the moment as we see Colonel Kearns now attacking Stormfly down into the chicane. Is he going to have Dan as well for the lead? No, he's not. Is he going to get Stormfly? Well, he has at this point, Stormfly. He does get up there, a little nudge to the back of Dan, and Stormfly's thought, well, okay, if you're not going to have it, I'll have it. And he has that back. Through goes Stormfly, up to 2nd again. What a battle this is at the front. So this is for the win. One more lap then. Next lap will be the final lap. So they come up through the final corner now at Panasonic. What a race this is. Colonel Kearns, there he is again, up the inside. Didn't quite get a drive. Stormfly still in 2nd, but let's have a look now. They could both feed off them. There's not a lot of fuel left in Stormfly. Has he got enough to do the last lap? But he's going to try and save a little bit here from behind Dan. But look at Colonel Kearns, going to get a lovely double slipstream. They're all going to go for it down here. Look at this final lap, 1st corner. Oh, didn't want that one. As we see Dan and Stormfly still there. Oh, it's still as it was. So Dan still leading it from Stormfly, from Colonel Kearns. I knew I was going to lose my breath. Thank God it's the final lap. This has been cracking action. This is a real good race, and Stormfly having a look, going a little bit wider, trying to get that small sweeping line round Dan to try and get himself on the inside, going into the hairpin. It does work, you know. Has he got enough though? He hasn't. Dan was knew he was coming, covered that. Now as they come out of there, through the hairpin, down through turn 8 and into 300R towards the chicane. All the fuel levels are very low, but should be enough to see him to the end. As we see Dan now and Stormfly, is he going to have a go? No, he's not. Where's Colonel Kearns? He's still there. All closing up very close here through turns 14 and 15. This is great racing. I ain't had time to look back here. I've got to stay with the lead here because this is for the win here. We're on the final lap now. We've got to stay with them. There's the keyboard and Wadru. This is where the action is. And might have had it. No, he might grab it. It's better. He was better through there than the other two. But does he get the run now? Stormfly. Let's have a look. Is it going to be a photo finish? You know what? The line's coming up close. This could be a photo finish. Let's see. I think Dan's just going to nick it. I think he will. He does. What a win. Or does he? Oh, that was close. Stormfly gets 2nd. That was a close finish. Colonel Kearns in 3rd. Keyboard in 5th. Wadru, 4th. Wadru in 5th. Whew. Now can have a breather before these rests come up here. Wow. Rahman Kali, is he gonna keep sick for his Sai got the run on him? Sai might grab it, you know. He does. So Sai in the Jag, or does he? Is he going to get sixth place, Jag? Sai, he does. My goodness me, that was close. Brian in seventh. Look at this silly shot in eighth. Unforgiven in ninth. Bennett in 10th. And then even battling at the back here. BJ's going to get 11th from PM in 12th. What a race. Unforgiven did get that 140.8 as a fastest lap, but that was an outstanding race. And well, the chat wasn't wrong. Amazing race there at the end from the leaders. In fact, racing all around was fantastic there, and from start to finish. That was a great race, and that's what happens when the rain comes down at the start of these races. So really enjoyed that one. I hope you enjoyed that one, and we'll have a little bit more of them, please, in the future. So that's round 7 done and dusted, and we'll move on to round 8 next week. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your likes and support. I really appreciate it, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.